For the past few years, most AI tools have been judged by one basic question. How smart are they? Can they write better? Can they search faster? Can they answer more complex questions? Those questions shaped the first major wave of AI adoption. But they may not be the most important questions anymore. Because intelligence by itself does not create business value. Work does. That is why ChatGPT Agent is getting attention. The idea behind AI was never limited to generating text. The broader promise was to help people accomplish real tasks. For many users, that promise has always felt unfinished. AI could write a draft. It could summarize a report. It could brainstorm ideas. It could explain a difficult concept. But once the output was delivered, the human still had to take over. The user still had to turn the information into action. That has been the pattern across much of the AI industry. The tools became more capable, but they mostly remained assistants. They helped people think, research, and write. But they rarely moved into actually doing work on the user's behalf. That distinction matters. Businesses are not mainly looking for better conversations with software. They are looking for outcomes. A creator wants content published. A marketer wants campaigns executed. A freelancer wants projects completed. A small business owner wants operations to run with less friction. In each case, the end goal is not just information. The goal is execution. That is where ChatGPT Agent becomes relevant. The interest around it is not only because it is another AI feature. It points to a different direction for AI products. Instead of focusing only on generating answers, the focus starts to shift toward performing tasks. That shift may sound small, but it changes how people evaluate AI. For years, the conversation was mostly about model quality. Which model gives the best responses? Which model reasons better? Which model searches more effectively? Those comparisons still matter. But they do not answer the more practical question, can the system help complete real work? That question matters because many professionals are already comfortable using AI. Creators use it for research and ideation. Marketers use it for planning and content support. Freelancers use it to speed up parts of client work. Developers use it as a coding assistant. Small business owners use it to save time on routine tasks. So the value of AI assistance is already clear to many users. The next question is different. Can AI move beyond assistance and contribute directly to execution? That is why this topic connects with several major workflow conversations at once. It is an AI product story because it shows where these tools may be heading. It is a workflow story because it affects how people organize their work. And it is a business story because companies care about efficiency, reliability, and results. But this is also where the conversation needs to stay grounded. A common mistake in AI discussions is assuming that every new capability means humans disappear from the process. That is not the right lesson here. A better way to think about ChatGPT Agent is delegation. In business, productivity often improves when people delegate the right tasks to the right systems or people. The question is not whether humans become unnecessary. The question is which tasks can be delegated and which ones still require human judgment. For creators, that means looking at production workflows differently. For marketers, it means asking where execution can be accelerated. For freelancers, it means identifying tasks that take time but do not need constant attention. For small business owners, it means finding operational bottlenecks that could be reduced. The workflow conversation becomes less about writing better prompts and more about designing better systems for work. That is a meaningful shift. In the first phase of AI adoption, many people focused on learning how to ask better questions. In a more execution-focused phase, they may need to spend more time deciding what work should be delegated in the first place. The skill moves from prompting alone to workflow management. That does not remove the need for oversight. In some ways, oversight becomes even more important. When AI generates an answer, the user reviews the answer. When AI helps execute a task, the user has to evaluate the outcome. The stakes are different because the focus has moved from information to action. Trust, verification, and accountability still matter. No serious professional should assume that execution removes the need for human review. The strongest approach will likely be automation with supervision. That balance has shown up again and again in technology adoption, and AI is unlikely to be different. What makes ChatGPT Agent worth watching is not that it suddenly solves every problem. It is that it points toward a different role for AI tools. A role where the question is less about what AI knows and more about what AI can actually help accomplish. That distinction may become more important than another benchmark, another model comparison, or another search feature. Because businesses do not measure success by how impressive a tool sounds. They measure success by results. That is why ChatGPT Agent is an important AI workflow story. Not because it is simply new, not because it creates headlines, but because it raises a practical question for creators, marketers, freelancers, developers, and small business owners. If AI can move beyond providing information and start contributing to execution, what does that mean for the way we work? That is the question worth watching, and it may help define the next phase of AI adoption.